number 170, 295, 1090. This is a WAC that talks about the requirement of meetings. It's not on your paper, but that's why we're having this quarterly meeting for those of you who haven't been able to attend or don't know anything about it. The WAC says that I, as the director, must arrange for staff meetings and training opportunities for the child care staff at least quarterly. So the meetings do not have to be mandatory, but I do have to make arrangements for you guys to have the trainings throughout the quarter, as we already have them listed in the parent handbook. So, for those of you who have never read the parent handbook, check Blessed by Design, TLC.com, read the parent handbook. The employee handbook, of course, is on site. That way you guys can get an idea of what the parents should be knowing and what we all should be knowing as well. Today we're going to cover staff responsibilities and our gossip issue that we've had in the facility for the last couple of months. I'm not going to go into detail with every position, and there's going to be a question and answer session. And you guys may have this on recording, you may not have it on recording as far as the question and answers, but I will go over positions and try to answer a few questions within the recording concerning various positions in the facility. Since he's not here, I'll start with the maintenance manager position. That will be Mr. Larry Robinson, Lawrence Robinson Deek. In the future, the near future, I'm gonna be planning on hiring another maintenance guy and another transportation person to help him do his job, and he'll be in charge of training them and doing other things. His job description is here at the facility. We have it here and we're looking at it, but his job will be to be in charge of that crew and to assist the facility manager in the management of the facility. So that'll be his job, but I'm going to move to the facility manager because I believe that's probably one of the more important positions that we need to discuss today. For those of you who have been working here for a while, you know that Mrs. Pugh has been placed in the position. For those of you who don't know, Mrs. Pugh is officially now the facility manager of Blessed by Design Total Learning Center. Once we get everything straight, it will be a salaried position, and we will work towards having an agreement with her on what her salary terms will be. So the scope of the responsibility for the facility manager, we'll start with the description. The facility manager of the child care center reports to the facility director and supervises BBDTLC. This is a non-exempt professional technical management position. That means that it is not exempt from taxes, but it is a management position. She has the ability to be salaried because of that. Scope of responsibility. The facility manager is responsible to assist the BBDTLC director to plan, organize, implement, coordinate, and control services of the child care program, exercising independent judgment and decision-making authority as delegated, including policies, procedures, and staff supervision. That means that when I'm not on site, Mrs. Pugh is your direct supervisor of every staff member in the facility. If you have any questions about anything that's going on in the facility, talk with Ms. Pugh. If you feel like there needs to be a phone call made about something going on in the facility, talk with Ms. Pugh, and she can make the decision on if I need to be called in or not. We'll continue. Under general supervision, the manager operates the child care program in conformance with Blessed by Design TLC regulations and DEL licensing provisions. That means obviously Ms. Pugh follows whatever our employee rule book says with the way we care for our children and the way we run our program. It also means that she's responsible for making sure that the DEL licensing provisions are followed. Responsibilities include the overall management of the center's early childhood program and its operation, facilitating, planning, coordinating of the children's educational programs and activities. That means that she, in concert with me, is responsible for what goes on in the facility when I'm not here. So she makes sure that the curriculums get carried out. She makes sure that everybody's going to lunch on time. She makes sure that the things that are supposed to go on according to the lead teacher schedules happen. Because the first time that we don't follow our schedule and the licensor comes in, Mrs. Judy Davis, and we're not following the schedule, we're going to get written up. And it ain't going to be we, it's going to be me. And as we all know, everything tends to roll downhill. So I don't want to be written up. Lead teachers. Miss Holly. Yes. She's not here today. Hey, Miss Holly. So, but my lead teachers are really good at keeping up with the curriculum, so we don't have to concern ourselves with that. The manager works with BBD-TLC faculty to facilitate their teaching of early childhood care with students in practicum, excuse me. We're planning on having practicum students from SFCC, SFCC, excuse me, and Spokane Community College to come in and do their practicums here. So she's going to be assisting those students in carrying out the practicum along with the lead teachers. So that means we're going to have some new staff coming in, students doing the practicum, and Mrs. Pugh is familiar with that. She has her degree, so she knows about all that wonderful stuff, so she'll be able to help with that. Essential functions. These are the more important responsibilities for her. Plan, develop, schedule, and or provide in-service training and evaluations of child care staff. That Mrs. Pugh actually already carried out an in-service training when she did the kitchen training last quarter. But she'll help assist in scheduling and developing the in-service trainings that we do here. She'll assist me in that area. And she will be evaluating everyone's work performance that she's in contact with when they're at the facility. So she'll be watching what you're doing and letting me know. So when we get ready to do employee reviews, I have a good idea of what I'm looking at. Number 2, ensure that the staff conform to federal, state, local law, local rules, regulations, and licensing requirements. We all know about the licensing requirements and all the requirements that we have, so I don't have to go into detail with that. But it's part of her job to enforce those rules. Ensure that the daycare center rooms and play areas are clean, orderly, and in safe condition. To talk about that briefly, that's also part of my job. That's why I kind of walk around looking to see if we got any paints coming off the wall, see if we need to have any toys repaired, things like that. If we see something like that, that's our responsibility to make sure that we get it fixed so that the kids don't get hurt. Because they can come to harm if they run into something that's not clean or not in order, so or in safe condition. It's everyone's responsibility on this third one. Every teacher, regardless of who they are, prepare reports to Child Protective Services, or CPS, and other agencies to ensure the safety and well-being of all children cared for at BBD-TLC. We've had some issues with this in the past with CPS. Not because that we've done anything wrong, but because parents have gotten upset because we've had to make reports. But that's okay. We have to do what we have to do for the safety of the children. Bottom line. So if we have to make a report, it has to be done. It's not you don't have to report to the facility manager to make a report. But it would be nice to we would know when a parent comes in and gets upset about the report being made. We know what's going on, and that way we can handle them. But it's not, you don't have to tell us that you have to make a report. If you understand what I'm saying. Make your report, get it in the CPS as soon as possible. Don't mess around with that, because they actually have a 48-hour window. If you don't make the report within the 48-hour window, we can get written up because we're not following procedure. And then we're considered to be endangering the child as well. The other one, assist child care center staff in preparing for and presenting early childhood programs and activities. Assist as necessary with duties of instructional assistance. Basically meaning that she will assist in whatever way she can in the classroom, whenever she can. Ms. Pugh has another hat. She's the chef around here too. So we don't want to put too much on her. But anytime that she can help out, she already does that. But anytime she can help out, she will. So, finally, ensure that problems encountered by staff are resolved. Alter policies or procedures to ensure smooth operation of program. That means that Mrs. Pugh can change lunches. She can change potty breaks. She can change whatever she needs to change to make sure that the facility is running smoothly throughout the day. Because sometimes we have too many kids. Sometimes we don't have enough staff. Whatever adjustments you need to make, Ms. Pugh, you can make them. I don't have a problem with that. As long as the facility is running okay and we're not out of ratio or not breaking any laws, it's fine. Finally, regular and satisfactory attendance and punctuality. That goes for everybody. Come to work on time. Be to work when you're supposed to be. Ms. Pugh already does that, so. But that's just a basic scope of her responsibilities. And the final statement on the bottom just says that all of her job duties aren't included in this. There may be some additional things she has to do in order to cover absences or relieve people, you know, whatever it might be, and we all do that. So, and that's in every single job description across the board. So, does anybody have any questions about this particular scope, this particular job function? No. By the way.
Like, with all due respect to Ms. Ruth, like, what if we, like, come to her with a problem and we didn't get the answer, not the answer that we want or anything, but answer that, like, we didn't get any answer, so what happened next?
Okay.
Can we go to you, or can we wait, or, like?
What I would like to have happen is simply, if you speak with Ms. Pugh, and Ms. Pugh doesn't give you the answer you want, I would ask that you go to Ms. Pugh and let her know that. Give her an opportunity to come and talk with me and see if we can come to a resolution. I don't want to jump over her, putting her in this position. But I will say, if somebody, and regardless of who it is, if somebody feels uncomfortable with talking with Ms. Pugh about an issue that you have going on, that's officially work related. If it's an issue of personal nature, please, you can come to me directly. But if it's an issue that's work related, because I want to have the order in the right way, I would prefer for you to talk with Sophia and let her see if she can iron it out before we move forward and not get bought in on it. Because I'm trying to get to the point where I'm not bought in on things of trivial nature, should I say. Because I got a ton of other things I got to do. Trying to get this facility up and trying to grow to the other side. And that's taking up a lot of my time right now. So I ask that if employees could use their resources, talk with Sophia. If you don't feel comfortable talking to Ms. Pugh or you don't get the result that you want, at least give Ms. Pugh 2 chances to try to fix the issue. Once again, Ms. Pugh's still learning this process. She's still going through trying to, find her way. So I'm not going to be too rough on her because it's not an easy job, especially when it's your first time, especially when it comes to dealing with people. So I'm just asked to give her 2 opportunities first, and if it doesn't work that way, talk with Sophia, and if I need to be bought in on, then she'll bring me in. If not, I think her and Ms. Pugh probably could come to a reasonable conclusion and get the issue fixed or resolved.
Another question about, like, child protective service, like in some situations, like kids that we have, like, can I say names?
Not on the recording.
Okay.
Not on recording because we're going to put this on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Like,
you can use initials.
Yes. H, and then, like, he, like, when, like, about, like, is it better to have, like, second opinion or ask, like, someone before we just call CPS? Because in this, like, situation,
I understand. I would think sometimes, if you see something like that, normally there's another teacher in the room. If not, first off, write an observation report before you even get started, because sometimes you will get things mixed up, when you're trying to tell something and you don't have it written down exactly. Write your observation first. Take your observation. As a lead teacher, I would go to Ms. Pugh. That would be the next step up the ladder. Talk with Ms. Pugh about what you observed. Maybe she can shed some light on it. Maybe she may have some information about a parent.
Yes.
I know normally I do. So if you talk with Ms. Pugh, she can't give you any additional information. Come talk with me about it, and we'll see if it's something that's within the norm of that child's behavior, or if it's something that's outside the scope of what they normally do. Because I do know a lot more about the parents and their backgrounds and the children and their backgrounds. So if y'all run into something like that, and you don't know if it's necessary to make a CPS report or not, and you're trying to weigh it, come and talk with me about it. If, like I said, if Ms. Pugh can't give you an answer or doesn't know enough information about it. What you got? Anybody? Going once, going twice, sold to the hospital. All right, so we're moving on to the... I just saw Mr. Larry walking the door, but he snuck upstairs on me. That's okay, I'm going to get him. Lead teacher. No lead teachers. Well, what do y'all want to do? Lead teachers, you want to do floaters first? You tell me. Floaters shorter.
Floater.
Okay, floater. Floater it is. All right, the floater reports to the facility manager. That's Miss Pugh. All right, scope of responsibility. The floater is responsible to assist with the implementation of educational and developmentally appropriate curriculum and programs for the children enrolled here. The floater assists in carrying out of scheduled activities and programs and works under the direction of the lead teacher as necessary. I didn't put that in there, but as necessary, because our floater right now does a lot of different things. So we have to consider that. Under general supervision, that would be Ms. Pugh. And there goes our floater. The floater assists in the child care program in conformance to the BBD TLC regulations and license provision. All right, I want to go to some key stuff for the floater. Where am I looking at? One of the floater's number one, a primary function or responsibilities is to make sure that the daycare center is clean, that the rooms are clean, that the cubby areas are clean, that the play areas are clean, orderly, and in a safe condition. They also assist the lead teacher, because it kind of sucks when you have to do it by yourself. They assist the lead teacher in cleaning up after various activities. And I also assist the lead teacher in putting out the nap cots and things of that nature. That's the floater's job. That's why they're here. Like I said before, our floater does a lot of different things right now, but what I'm trying to put on paper is when we have a floater that's just a floater, this is their job function.
So what's...
Okay. They also ensure that all scheduled bathroom breaks, that means that the potty breaks that we do, and lunches for all of the teachers are covered. That's the other floater. That's one of the primary functions of the floater. They're to come in here to relieve the lead teachers. They're to come in here to make sure that the potty breaks get done, so that way, you guys aren't getting your lunch late, things of that nature. That's their job. But what were you going to say, Miss Dean? Dean, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
what
I got
does it
nothing.
mean? Floater does lots of things like right now, like what the job description exactly.
Well, we can talk about this. Tanner does a little bit of everything right now. My ultimate goal is to move Tanner into an administrative position. I don't want Tanner. I'm going to move Tanner away because she has some gifting that she can use in the administrative area more so than in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that reason, and she does a lot of different things. She wears a lot of different hats. When we have walkthrough, Tanner does in the walkthrough. When we have phone calls, Tanner's running the phone calls. That was Samantha's old position. So she's learning how to do that, but at the same time she's acting as the floater. So she's wearing two different hats right now. That's why I say a lot of different things that she's doing. But when we get to the point where we have a floater and that's their only function, this is where their primary focus will be at. Is on these areas. They're not going to have to worry about answering the phone. They're not going to have to worry about conferencing with parents. They're not going to worry about all that. They're going to come in. They're going to get the cots out. They're going to come in, help clean the classroom. They're going to assist you if you're doing arts and crafts activities, things of that nature, like an assistant teacher, in other words. But hopefully we'll get to the day where we'll have a floater and an assistant teacher as well, because that's what I would like. That way they can focus on one thing, and the teachers will have an assistant to move and help them. But do we have any other questions about that? No? Oh, what? Are you sure? No floater questions? All right, lead teacher. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Lead teacher. They didn't have any questions about you, Tanner. So boring.
Yeah, it's about floater and things.
No, I guess not. I'll have to YouTube my whole part because I answered the phone.
Well, like I said,
Someone interested in childcare. We're closed.
today?
No.
Okay.
Somebody wants to sign up.
Well, they can sign up. We could be closed. They can still sign up.
Yes.
We like referrals. What? I'm just saying. Anyway, lead teacher. All right. The lead teacher is responsible for the general supervision and management of your classroom. I wrote it as if this was being addressed to the lead teacher directly. And its children. That means that lead teachers are responsible for their classroom and the children in their classroom. You're responsible for the planning and executing of the educational program, meaning you're responsible for your curriculum or whatever program that you're carrying out in your classroom. The lead teacher is responsible to plan, organize, implement, coordinate, and control services of the child care program or curriculum in their classroom. So basically, you're in charge of your classroom, to make a long story short. But you have to do all this technical writing to make it all official and stuff. A lead teacher has the right to exercise independent judgment and decision-making authority as delegated in your classroom. The reason that I underline this is that we have had lead teachers in the past that don't have the ability maybe to write curriculum or the ability to organize the children or run a schedule. So as delegated means that if I have to come in the classroom and help a teacher with that, I'll delegate that lead teacher to do certain things, and I'll cover or help to handle something else. Or Miss Pugh will help and cover or handle something else. So that way, we don't have a lead teacher trying to do a job that they may not have the ability to do. You know, and until they get to the point that they can do it, we'll help train them and get them so they can do the entire job on their own. So does that make sense for everybody? Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of people that have the gifting to be a lead teacher don't necessarily always have the educational skills to be a lead teacher. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, in that regard, we help train them up so that way they can do the job. Alright, so where are we at? Essential functions. Assist in the planning, developing, and or provide in-service training and evaluation of childcare staff. The lead teachers will eventually have assistants. So they'll be responsible for evaluating the assistants that work with them. And when I say evaluating, I mean taking notes. If so-and-so does this well, or they do that well, you know, just a general observation report so that way when I get ready to do employee reviews, I can know what their assistant is or is not doing. The lead teachers can also and will be developing in-service training. My goal is, because I believe we had Tanner do one when she was operating as a lead, that she did an in-service training on the infant room. I want all the lead teachers to do an in-service training on their classroom, so that way whoever works in your classroom knows how you run your classroom and knows how you like to have your classroom ran. And there won't be any excuses for anybody that comes in and works in the classroom to say, well, I didn't know how it's supposed to be done. The training, you was at training. So now you know how so-and-so wants her classroom run or how he wants his classroom run, because I'm looking to have some male lead teachers too. That way, there ain't no excuse. That way, everybody knows what the lead teachers want in their classroom, so when they come back to the classroom, it's the way that they left it. So, let's see here. Lead teachers, you guys know you need to report to CPS. So, confer with parents on a regular basis to discuss the development of their enrolled children, to include the scheduling of parent-teacher conferences and intake meetings. That's a direct responsibility of the lead teacher. Once a parent is signed up and we are made aware of this, we let the lead teacher know, whichever lead teacher's classroom it may be yours, it may be Miss Holly's, or eventually Miss Kelly's. And we have asked you guys to schedule a lead teacher meeting with that parent, or intake meeting. Mm-hmm. I'm going to eventually rename it because it sounds more like a CPS intake. So I need to rename it into something else, and any ideas you guys have, I would greatly appreciate that, so we can give it a more proper name.
Parent-teacher conference?
Yeah. Well, a conference and an intake are a little bit different because we're accepting them into the program. With the parent-teacher conference, it may be that you just want to have a conference with them about the child's behavior or some of their artwork or, you know, something of that nature. So I do want to differentiate the two, if possible. But yeah, that's very important for the lead teachers to talk with the parents. And I want to let it be known, it's not the assistant's job per se to talk with the parents. If the parents address an assistant and say, hey, so-and-so, da-da-da, that's one thing. But the lead teacher should take the reins on talking with every parent that comes in and letting them know what's going on with their child. Because, truthfully, the lead teacher should be the number one contact with the parent in the facility. Because I know when we ran the in-home, we talked with the parents constantly. And we want to get that same idea going here. I don't want staff feeling like they can't talk with parents. That's not what I'm saying. But the primary job function of the lead teacher is to be the one that's the primary contact for the parent in the facility. It's not my job to be the primary contact for the parent. If the parent has concerns or issues or problems, then more than likely they're going to come to me, and they may come to Ms. Pugh. I don't know. Once we let the parents know that he's a facility manager, they may start coming to her, but I sincerely doubt they probably still come to me. Because usually when parents get upset, that's what they do. But anyway, for lead teachers, it's important. Build rapport and relationships with the parents. That way, if a parent is upset, a lot of times you'll be able to work your way around that situation and satisfy them instead of it going all the way up the chain and then having to come all the way back down. You know, because honestly, it's going to end with you and it's probably going to start with you, lead teachers. Lead childcare staff in presenting for and presenting early childhood programs and activities. Assistance necessary with duties and instructional assistance. Once again, it's the same thing, but the lead teacher's responsibility is to lead the staff in these activities, such as the curriculum, for instance. It's the lead teacher's responsibility to implement the lesson plans and things that they want to do in their classroom. It's not the assistant's job. The lead teacher is supposed to have the curriculum plan, and they're supposed